All right, motion to convene the marketing committee meeting.
I'll make that motion.
I second it.
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye. All right, we will begin with the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the
United States of America.
one nation, under God, indivisible.
All right, I would like to make a motion. Is there a motion to adopt the agenda?
I'll make.
I'll second it.
All right, all in favor of adoption of the agenda?
Aye.
Aye. All right, and then we have the approval of the November 1st, 2022 Marketing Committee meeting minutes. Is there a motion to approve those meeting
I'll
minutes?
change it up. I'll make the motion to approve the minutes.
Appreciate it. Variety is the spice of life.
I'll back you up on that, Alex.
Thank you very much.
All right, vote on the motion of the adoption of the November 1st meetings. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, so on the agenda, we have two items. Let's start with the first one. We have discuss and possibly vote to make a recommendation to the town commissioners regarding an email campaign for the Dewey Beach tagline contest. So I don't know if anyone saw the Cape Gazette yesterday, but just kind of in a related note, Milton has hired a firm to create their tagline. And so we've discussed, obviously, having the email contest where we would have the town people as well as businesses in the town. They'd be able to submit their suggestion of what the tagline would be, and then we would choose possibly 5 to then have other people vote on that.
Just letting you know, since you only have your one item, you might want to take public comment before or after, just make sure you get public comment.
Right. Hey, Alex.
Sure. Paul,
Hey, Alex, we got to do a roll call. Who's present at the meeting?
sorry about that. Roll call, Alex Cedric.
Alex Hannah?
Carmel Monfiletto.
Bill Zolper, town manager.
We have Ellen Winkler. We couldn't hear you, Ellen, but she's here.
I'm here.
Paul, do you need to announce that you're present as well?
No, I'm just the liaison.
Okay, so in terms of then the email campaign for the tagline contest. So if I remember correctly, our idea was, like I said, we would send out an email to the town list that Kate, you have access to, correct? So we would send out an email soliciting people to then submit what they think that their proposed tagline would be for the town. We would then filter out and then pick possibly 5 to then narrow down to 3 to present to the commissioners what the 3 best taglines are to vote. And then we would then choose based on the winner of the contest. Is that correct? Everyone in agreement with that?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that. Computer issues on my end.
As I recall, Alex, that's how we presented it in the last meeting.
Yes. Yeah. So Ellen, just the recap was that we're going to have people be able to submit their tagline so that we can then have a contest to see and then present that to the commissioners.
Good.
The only question I have, and we're fine if not, but are we going to trademark the 3 that we choose before we send it out for vote?
I think we should, just so that it also protects us if we want to ever change it up, or we want to do other promotional materials. You know, if we want to make shirts, slogans, etc. I think it would probably be in the best interest to trademark all 3. Paul, do you have any comment, feedback on that?
No, and that's how we discussed it the last time as well. So we were going to bring them in, and then at that point, whatever we recommend, we were going to trademark ahead of time. And then as the commissioners vote on it, which one they accept.
Bill, can our legal counsel do it? Or, I mean, I don't know what the cost would be. Is it pretty easy to do?
I don't know. I could find out.
Okay, cool, great. And I think it protects us if we have 3 in case we have one that we want to use and change it up.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. Does anybody have anything further to add to this in terms of this topic? Would anybody like to make a motion to vote on this possibly about us doing this email campaign?
I'd like to make a motion to outline what Alex did, which is, first of all, email out to residents and local businesses for a proposed tagline, to then narrow it down to 3 to 5 that we think are strong, bring it to commissioners, trademark it, and then have a community vote.
I agree.
You have a motion?
I will make that motion, yes.
Okay, so all in favor of the motion, say aye.
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 Aye. All right, motion approved. Do we want to hear from the public comments?
Kate, is there anybody in the waiting room?
No one in the waiting room, but Bill is here, so I don't know if he.
Phil, do you have any comments you'd like to share?
Bill, anything going on Reed Street?
I think he's just watching because he had to help me with the computer.
And that's okay.
Love is Reed Street.
Okay, so we have one other thing on the agenda. We have discuss potential items for next meeting's agenda. Does anybody have any pressing, any matters that they've thought of, any ideas they would like to bring to the committee that we can possibly adopt for the next agenda?
I would say the only item would be to review the recommendations if there's time, or the list.
Yeah.
And narrow it down to 3 points.
Okay, yeah, so it seems like that next meeting then will be all focus on the email campaign for the tagline contest. And we'll, work on that language, what we'll send out, things like that.
Okay, so it's basically outlining what we would do.
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah. Okay, so if there are no public comments and nothing else to discuss, anyone care to make sorry, Carmel.
Do we want to make a timeline for this? Like when the email campaign goes out, when we expect to review, when we want the responses back in, when we want to review them by, and then have it finalized by a certain time?
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. I mean, is there any,
Yeah, fine.
Paul, do you see any issues that would come up with that if we do a timeline for this contest?
Now, who's going to write up what we send out, though?
I'm
That's
happy
my only
to.
question on it.
Yeah, I'm happy to make a draft of it and then we could present it. I know I've come up with something already that again I can present to everyone so that we can approve.
Okay.
So my question is,
Yeah, what,
Paul, would be that all we can do is recommend this to the commissioners, and the commissioners, would they vote for what we would send out?
no, not to send out. I mean, I think the commissioners would vote on what's approved. I don't think we need commissioner approval to send something out to the public. Asking for, we're enlisting thoughts from them. I don't think that requires a commissioner vote.
Okay.
But did we need approval for, we talked about some sort of prize for the winner?
Yeah, we discussed that. Paul, from your end, is there any update on if there could be a possible prize, whether it be, I know Alex had mentioned, mayor for the day. We had talked about possibly gift cards, parking passes, parking permits, things like that. Anything from your end?
No, but you know what? I think that would be an administrative function there. And Bill, you and I can catch up on that maybe tomorrow morning and just see what, we'd like to, give something to the winners. I mean, the 3 people that or the 5 that we pick, narrowed down. So I think there's 5 prizes and then a grand prize, to the ultimate one that we end up choosing.
Yeah, I will say, there's a media opportunity for this. You select the winner middle or end of summer. You have them be mayor or VIP
Yeah.
for a day, and you make a big deal of it. I mean,
Yeah.
there could be some good press with that, and then you kick off the tagline, and maybe you have some retail for sale. I just thinking, and Carmel had asked about timing. I think we should set a deadline and work back.
Yeah.
From that. Do we want to say we don't tend to meet during the summer?
Yeah.
But I was thinking February is messaging, then we got March, we send out, April, May, we review, maybe have a vote, maybe roll it out in, June or July. I don't know.
I think that timeline sounds perfect. Obviously I think it would be great if we can get this done before obviously summer with the influx of traffic. Paul, Bill, do you guys see any problems with that? Would that timeline work for
I
you?
think we could do it a lot sooner than 4 months, really.
Yeah, I mean,
I would love to, but
I
think
I
about
mean,
it. We're reviewing
I
copies.
mean, if you sent something out, I mean, a couple weeks to respond to it. If you don't respond in a couple weeks, I mean, we can set a deadline on it. I'd like to see perhaps, it gets back to, the committee in February
Yeah.
sometime, and then to the commissioners in March to approve it, and then start April. I mean, we get people starting to come into town. So if we're giving away a parking pass, for example, let's not give it to them in June or July. Let's give it to them before the season starts.
I think that works. I think April is very feasible for us to do, especially once we lock down that messaging next meeting. Then from there, it's just, again, how long we're going to keep that open. I think 2 weeks, as you just said, Paul, is a good timeline. After that, people will just start forgetting about it. So 2 weeks for the email, for the tagline contest would work.
Right, maybe even a second reminder, just say, hey, after 1 week, we send a second reminder out, hey, we're getting the final ones in. We've gotten some great ideas, et cetera, et cetera. At that point, if you don't respond to the second email, then, you gave everybody a final chance to weigh in on it.
Yeah, and we could always, if you'd like, I can reach out to the Cape Gazette and just see if they'd be willing to cover a story about that. Because I think that could also bring some nice press to it, as well as Dewey, especially in contrast with what I just discussed. Milton hiring a firm versus us, we're involving the town. I think that could be a really good selling point for Dewey and showing how we're community based.
Alex, explain the
Yeah, they
process.
did that nice story on Milton, so I
Yeah.
think they could even do a better one on us.
Yeah,
So
agreed.
explain the process, how this is going to work, how are we getting it out to the public?
Yes, so February, our next meeting, which will be the 10th, that's the first Tuesday, so we can discuss if that works for everyone. But so we'll discuss the language of the email in that meeting and vote on that. And then once that's approved, Kate will then use the email list where we'll contact everyone, send them the email with that and saying, we are soliciting taglines. Feel free to enter it. A prize will be awarded to the 5 people we choose, and then a grand prize to ultimately who we win. So that should take, as we were saying, about 2 weeks. So, by the end of February, we should have a firmer grasp of what are the 5 that we want to move forward with, which then means by March, hopefully, we can then present that to the commissioners for them to vote.
So we would do an email
Hey, Al.
on the town, the one that we have, and then it would go out, and we also want to use our Facebook for that.
Yeah.
And then we'd also put it on the town webpage. We could also put it out in our newsletter,
Absolutely.
right? We could do it there also. But then when they come back
Right.
in, how would that work, Kate, with them coming back into a certain, we're asking for old photos of the town? Would we establish some place to capture it all and then provide it back to Alex?
Yeah, we could
Yeah.
just make it one whole page, just like
Yeah.
we do with all licenses.
Yeah.
Submit whatever info we choose that we want them to put on there, contact info and their ideas. and
Perfect.
Submit.
Yeah.
And then we would have a whole audit trail.
Yeah.
We email it all to Alex, and then
Yeah.
Alex would bring it to the February,
We could
or March
export
meeting, whenever it
all
is.
of those submissions in.
Yeah.
right?
So you have a nice list of everything.
Yeah.
The only thing is, as far as the timeline, the recommendation to the town commissioners that you just did. Their meeting is, I think, February 17th. So that will go in front of them then, so just keeping in mind, I mean, you could.
Right.
Yeah.
But just so you know when that's.
Yeah. Hey, Alex, you don't need to have another meeting to get a language of what we're sending out. I mean, if you have a draft, send it over to Bill and I and Kate, and we'll get it out to the public. I mean, you don't need to have a meeting on soliciting information from the public.
That works then. Yeah, I'll send that over to you guys in the next few days.
I think
Yep.
you should be able to.
That's all we need. So we can shorten this timeline a lot.
Be able to list the gifts on that email.
Yeah, but Paul and Bill
Yeah.
will discuss that. So then,
Yeah, we'll
Time,
discuss
like
that.
you say,
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep, I agree.
Yeah.
We
Yeah,
could do a dog license, we could do, I guess, a parking pass. Paul and I could discuss what we could do.
perfect.
Yeah. I mean, we have a marketing
Yeah.
budget, so as long as we keep it within that, I
Yeah.
think we're good. I mean, these are small dollar amounts here, so this doesn't require public vote.
Yeah, and in the draft that I'll send you all, I'll put a space where it'll say insert language about whatever the gift will be.
Right.
You get gift cards.
I think
from
that's great.
some of the restaurants? Is that allowable?
I thought we decided against that.
Yeah, I feel like that would be obviously a bigger undertaking, and that definitely would slow up the timeline a little. I think it's a great idea. It's just then a matter of, all right, is everyone going to, participate? If they don't, is it showing favoritism? Things like that. So I think probably in our best interest to move this along, we should just kind of avoid that.
Yeah.
So just a couple questions. First of all, for prizes, is the thought that you do, 5 prizes for the individual selections of the taglines, and then a grand prize. That
Yes.
might be a mayor or something else for
Yes.
a day. And then second question is for the copy. It should just be, and please, Kate, this is for you or Bill, for the discussion of it, it would just be a smaller group, because I don't think we want to include the entire group, or that becomes a forum or a public,
Yeah.
discussion, right? So how do we keep it so we can move quickly with it?
I mean, I'm happy if we just keep it with the marketing committee
I
in
actually
terms of
don't-
language, but if not, again, I am a professional copywriter, so if you guys are willing to entrust me in that, I'm happy to send it over. And then, like I said, feedback from Paul, Bill, and and Kate as well. Any recommendations, edits, et cetera, we can adopt. So that would also then move this along as well.
I think it's great.
My thought, guys, would be,
Expanded, it becomes a.
once we have in the next meeting, we discuss, there's, 5, all the responses come in, and then we'll number them, or letter them A through Z, if we get 26 responses in, but we'll letter them that way. And then you'll know what they are, but the public won't know what they are until we pick the 5, and then we trademark them at that point. And that way, it's, we're doing it in a public forum without releasing what the name of it is until it gets to the commissioners.
Yeah, and this
We
is.
don't want to trademark every response that comes in.
Agreed. This is just a thought that I had, and so if anyone disagrees, please, give feedback. But I would like to invite the marketing committee to submit their own tagline. But if we are chosen, that we would be disqualified from a prize. I don't think it'd be fair that if we choose ourselves, that we're giving ourselves prizes. But I still would like everyone to participate, so that your ideas can be heard as well.
Makes sense.
Great.
I think
All right.
that sounds prudent.
So when would you like, do you want to do a March meeting? Should we identify that date now?
So February, it sounds still will work, and then hopefully the idea being to present to the commissioners by March. It's aggressive, but I still think it's very doable that we can have this hopefully finalized by March, the new tagline, or at least the 3 that we're presenting.
So just to clarify, so you think February 10th, I don't think we'll have the ideas, right? So should we do?
Well, no, so I'll send the email so then we can just start the solicitation of the taglines, which should take about 2 weeks. So then by the end of February, we'll have what we have been given. And then from there, we can vote on what we think are the best 5 to then present, to finalize at the March meeting to then present to the commissioners.
And I think that sounds great, but I'm wondering if it makes sense to have the marketing meeting in February, or if we just move it to March, because the work will be occurring during that.
Yeah, I mean, that's a fair point. We didn't really have any other agenda, and nobody seems to have anything pressing. So I think that also works, that we just meet again in March and then just focus on this in the interim. And then we should have, again, more concrete info about this. So.
That's fine.
All
What's
right.
the date
Sounds
in
good.
March?
I haven't looked at the calendar, but I could look right now. The first Tuesday in March will be the 7th.
Seventh.
Same as February. So, all right. So March 7th will be then our next meeting, and we'll have all this information then. If there's nothing else, does anybody have a motion to adjourn?
I motion to adjourn.
Anybody second?
I'll second that.
All right. All in favor, say aye.
Ollie?
Aye.
All right.
Aye.
Meeting adjourned. Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
All right. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate it.
Yep. Bye now.
Bye-bye.